Hey guys, how's it going? I'm such a dork. Awesome. Okay, so that was Love Me Do by the Beatles. Super fun song to play. It was the Beatles' debut single as well, so that's kind of cool, I suppose. It's a super fun song to play, super simple as well, so that's an added bonus, I suppose. I don't think many people would really struggle with this very much. Just learn your sort of like basic open chords and you're pretty good to go, to be honest. It's just learning like, you know, the changes and all that kind of thing. But it doesn't take that long. It's just listen to it a bunch of times and just play along, and you know, you should be able to get it after a sort of short amount of time, especially with me showing you, I suppose. Yeah, I do sincerely hope that I played it correctly, because, you know, I wasn't 100% sure. I was kind of just jamming along to it and just sort of like finding my way. But I think I got, you know, relatively close at least. So, yeah, hopefully anyway, fingers crossed. As I said, it was the Beatles' debut single, and it came out way back in 1962, so very early in their career. I believe it was written several years before its actual release, though. It was just kind of one of those songs that was kicking around for a while. And I think it was written by Paul McCartney when he was about 16, when he was still at school. But then later on, I think John Lennon came in and they kind of collaborated it, and like I think John Lennon added the bridge or something like that. But yeah, they collaborated on it eventually and then used it as their initial sort of like debut single. So yeah, it's a cool song. I really enjoyed playing it. It was a good excuse to bring out my Les Paul as well, because for some reason I was playing it on my Telecaster and I couldn't get it to sound right for some reason, but as soon as I started playing it on the Les Paul, it sounded really good. Well, to me anyway. I haven't actually seen the footage yet, so it could be a complete mess and a disaster, but hopefully not, we'll see, I guess. As I've said before, the Les Paul is an amazing guitar and I love the way it sounds, but it's not my favourite. I think we all know by now that my favourite guitar is my Daphne Blue Stratocaster. Now, the reason that I always wanted a Daphne Blue Stratocaster is because when I was very young, before I started playing the guitar, I remember seeing pictures of George Harrison and John Lennon with Sonic Blue Stratocasters, I believe. And yeah, that kind of like imprinted itself on me, and that's like, whenever someone said like electric guitar, that's kind of like what I pictured. So yeah, I always wanted to get like a light blue Stratocaster, I suppose you could say. I prefer Daphne Blue as a colour myself, but to be honest, Sonic Blue and Daphne Blue are pretty much the same thing, so you know, it's not really a dramatic difference, is it? I believe George Harrison ended up painting his one with like psychedelia, but he ended up calling it Rocky, I think. Yeah, so kind of like what Jimi Hendrix did and people like that with their guitars at the time. They were like painting them and making them look all crazy. But yeah, I love like, you know, the way it looks and everything. I love the colour, and it just like screams of like vintage guitar, do you know what I mean? Not just that, Kurt Cobain and Billy Joe also had light blue guitars as well. Billy Joe having a Stratocaster and Kurt Cobain having a Mustang, I believe, and a Jagstang as well, but whatever. Yeah, it's just an awesome colour for a guitar, and you know, for me it just says vintage, you know, vintage Stratocaster sort of colour. So yeah, cool. So yeah, with regards to the actual song itself, there's not an awful lot to say, I guess. It's really simple, but like I said, I'm not 100% confident that I played it, you know, completely correct, I guess you could say. But I did my best, so I hope it's good enough. And you know, if it doesn't teach you how to play it correctly, at least it kind of like steers you in the right path, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to let you go now. In the future, very soon, I will be doing like a rig rundown, I suppose you could say. Like a description of how I get my tone. It's not really all that interesting, to be honest. It is basically just the amplifier. It's the effects that are built into the amplifier, but you know, I'll kind of like go through it at some point and show you how I get my sound, I guess. Yeah, not that there's anything special about my sound, it's just, you know, basic sort of like digital kind of like inbuilt effects, I guess. But anyway, the next video that I'm going to be posting is going to be a complete departure from, you know, guitar and stuff. It's just something that I did like in my spare time and just, you know, to keep myself occupied and sane, I suppose. So yeah, if you're not interested in seeing videos that aren't about guitar, then, you know, don't bother with it, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to let you go now, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to hit like and subscribe, as I always say, because I repeat myself every single time I do a video. I hope you guys are staying safe. These times at the moment are so unpredictable, and you know, I've stopped watching the news because it's just not helpful. It kind of bums me out. So yeah, whatever. I'm just going to take each day as it comes and just see what happens, I guess. Yeah, stay safe, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.